So right away, we had a Jake that came across the field. We called at him a couple times, no response, wasn't interested at all. So he continued on across the field, and that was that. No more than about 2 minutes later, we heard a big old tom gobble, and he was just gobbling his head off, just hammering. He's probably about 70 yards, maybe, from where we're set up at. And Casey next to me, he's all jacked up, getting pumped, getting excited, and he's telling me, he's like, I'm getting nervous, I'm shaking. I'm like, it's all right, buddy, just calm down, relax, just stay cool. It's gonna work out, man. So this bird is on a mission. He is just storming his way, gobbling his head off right towards us. And we're thinking, all right, this is going to be cake. It's going to be so freaking easy. And as he keeps getting closer and closer to where it just seems like he's basically right outside of our blind, he all of a sudden just shuts up. Nothing. He goes quiet for like 5 minutes at least. And so then we're starting to think, well, what is going on? And all of a sudden, we look up farther towards the end of that wood line, and we can see him just dashing up to the block woods, all the way at the other end of the woods, and all of a sudden he just hightails it, cuts it across the field. So we were just like, what in the world just happened? He got spooked. We weren't sure if the blind just scared him, if it was just way too much out in the open, but we had it tucked back pretty good, and I thought we had plenty of cover. And then our other thing, maybe we thought that one of the decoys looked too fake. I don't know, but pretty frustrating. We had him right there, and it just didn't work out. So we are heading out for the second hunt of the season. It is first week of May, May 2nd, and we're heading out for the evening hunt. Our plan is to get set up in the woods, same block woods that we know that these birds go to roost for the evenings. We're hoping to set up on or pretty close to this travel route that these birds like to take to get to the roost for the night. Going in with no blind and a couple decoys. We get set up, do a little bit of calling here and there every half hour or so. I mean, all we're doing is just basically sitting there until any bird walks into that woods, and then catch them coming to the roost. So we just sit there all the way till it got dark and saw nothing. Well, we saw a few deer, but that's it. So that was that hunt. What's up, you guys? Me, Casey, and the boy are doing some scouting this evening. We've already, it's not even, what, 8 o'clock, Case? and we've already spotted birds. So either way, we're gonna have a pretty good solid plan for the morning. But spotted birds over here on the family farm that we're going to right now, and we spotted some birds on the other farm where I have access to hunt. And so now we got all the rest of the evening till dark to see where they go to roost. Pretty sure I know where one of them, or the one group's gonna roost at. But we're gonna come up here. I think we're still kind of leaning towards the first birds we saw, maybe. But we'll see. Either way, guys, we're seeing birds already tonight, and that's what we were hoping for. All right, so now we're out for the third hunt of the season, and we're feeling really good about this one. It's Saturday morning, perfect morning. We did a bunch of scouting the night before, rode around, saw all these birds, saw them go to their roost, so we're got a solid game plan for this morning. Those other last two hunts first one was just very unlucky. Second one was a dud, didn't see anything. So this third one, we're pumped, we're excited. So we're just sitting there in the complete darkness in our blind, hearing these two toms just gobbling right away, just hammering their heads off. And we're just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be it, finally. So it starts to get lighter out, and all of a sudden I see these two toms fly down off their roost. Like, all right, here we go. So they flew down, and they're just sitting there at the edge of the field on the other side of the wood line, still about 150 yards away from our blind. And we've got 3 decoys set out. We've got 2 hens and a jake. And so as they're at the wood line, still gobbling their heads off, cruising around a little bit, they're looking towards our way, but they're still not quite interested yet. So I'm like, that's all right, it's not even 7 o'clock yet. And then all of a sudden they start strutting, just showing off, and we're like, all right, they're showing off their decoys, But nope, all of a sudden out of the corner of my eye, I spot 3 more birds fly off their roost, and those 3 birds were hens. So now we are in competition with these 3 live hens. So the toms are doing their thing, strutting in front of these hens, so we're just like, there's no way we're going to be able to get these 2 toms off of his hens and come towards our way. There's no way, they're not going to come off their hens. So at least, we're sitting there watching them do their thing and getting great footage, but we do a little bit of calling, they respond, but just not interested, just, somewhat interested, but not really. So they keep edging closer, but basically while they keep getting closer, they have to come our way. So these birds are making their way by us, you know, getting a little bit closer, but they're not going to come off their hens. They're just the two toms are just following the group of hens, and then my buddy goes, "What's the yardage?" They're like 70 yards away still, man. I mean, what do you mean, what's the yardage? Like,
76. 76.
we're not, that's crazy. Well, you're gonna take a 70-yard shot at these two toms, and I'm like, actually, it's probably not that bad of an idea, you know, who cares? They ain't gonna come off the hens anyway, so we might as well at least fling an arrow, give it a shot, you never know.
Yeah, they're gonna go straight past us. They're not stopped. 69 yards.
So we get the yardage down, they finally get within, the closest they got was like 64 yards. So I'm like, alright, hey, if you want to fling one out there, go for it, man. So he gets set up, gets down on his knees, and pulls that bow back, and
It went over its back. Really? Yeah, they didn't run yet though.
flings one at 64 yards, and it was almost a great shot, but it just went right over his back. So all of a sudden, Casey's reaching for another arrow, knocks it, pulls that bow back again, and flings a second one at these toms, and that one went over its back also.
Went over its back.
So after that second arrow was launched, we sit back and said, now what do we do? I mean, these birds are still just right over there, slowly making their way to the destination. So I'm like, dude, let's cut them off. Let's get out of this blind. Let's work our way through this nasty, tall, thick crap, swamp, pond area, and work right up in front of them and try to still get a shot at them. See if we can. I mean, why not? At the edge of this swamp, and then all of a sudden we hear them gobbling again. So I'm like, alright, they're just still right up here. They haven't gone far. And as we keep creeping up and getting closer to them, we get out to almost a little bit of a clearing that's on the edge of the pond there. And then all of a sudden I think they got spooked. They heard us tromping through the water, or they heard there was a bunch of geese and whatnot just going crazy. I don't know if that spooked them or what, but most likely us. And look back up at them, sure enough, they're taking off through the field. So we spooked them finally, but it was worth a try. It was worth a shot to try to stock up on them. We knew it was going to be tough, but we had to try it anyways. So here we are, May 7th. It is our 4th hunt, and man, it has been a grind. We have dealt with fail after fail, bad luck after bad luck, and Casey is still keeping his head up, grinding it out, and determined to get his first turkey ever, and with a bow. So it's the same situation as the day before. We spent the evening before scouting and finding those 2 toms and watching them go to their roost for the night. We get settled in around 5:20 in the morning, focused and ready for this hunt of a lifetime. As we are sitting in complete darkness and silence, the sky starts to flash with lightning streaks, and then thunder comes rolling in. I can't even explain to you guys how cool of a situation this is turning out to be. As we are enjoying this scene that Mother Nature provided us, the first tom sounds off, and then the second one. Now we know we are in the right spot, feeling more confident than ever. So the birds are gobbling their heads off in their roost, and then it starts pouring down raining. At one point, we had to hold onto the blind so that the wind wouldn't lift it up off the ground. After the mini hurricane came through, it finally gets light out, and we hear them 2 toms gobble. But this time, their gobbles sound different. It sounds so much clearer and louder. Now we know they have flown down from their roost and are making their way towards us and the decoys. The rest is history. Man, what a hunt, dude. Are you pumped? Dude, that was just everything about that morning hunt was awesome. It was thundering, lightning, and then just pouring down rain the whole morning. During all that, both them 2 toms were still gobbling their heads off. Casey made a few quick little light calls just to let them know that, hey, we're here in the field. And it was what, probably 6:50?
Yeah.
It wasn't even 7 o'clock. All of a sudden they gobbled a couple more times, and we knew right away that they were in the field, and we're like, all right, baby, it's on. And the rain kind of let up too at that point, because it was raining pretty hard before that.
Yeah.
So sure enough, like I said, we heard them finally fly down from their roost. They were out in the wide open in the field, and just a matter of time, and all of a sudden I glanced over just out of the corner of my eye, saw them come. I said, Casey, get ready, buddy. And here they come, just as we scripted it, just as we knew it was going to happen. From scouting them last night, we spotted them, watched them go all the way to their roost, and they came right into the decoys. It was perfect.
It was.
And this time they were without any hens, so that just made it even better too. And
could have had a better shot.
So they came right in about 12 yards right behind our decoy. Casey picked his bow up real slow, calm, cool.
Had the shakes though, a little bit.
A little bit of shakes. He drew back. He was holding for a long time.
A little bit.
Finally that bird in the front, dominant one, gave him a shot, and he freaking let it go. And you could tell, I mean, it was just a tad low. It was a dead bird, still a perfect shot. And you could tell he was hurt. It just
We heard that smack. The other bird with him came over and started attacking him, just beating the hell out of him. And then that bird flew off, his last little hooray, and that's where he landed and died.
Yeah, what, like 50, 60 yards away?
Yeah, flew fit, yeah. But man, still freaking pouring down raining right now, so he did it, boys. Anything you want to say, man?
Nah, man, thanks.
Exciting.
Appreciate it.
With a bow. Not many people can do it with a bow. And we are 2 for 2 out of that spot over there. That's the kill spot. Should be a good spot for a long time.
You'll
Future
never know
hunts.
about it.
And we're not going to tell anybody about it either. All right, you guys. Awesome job, Casey. Pumped for you, man.
Thanks, Brett.
Drilled him. You drilled him, baby.
You pumped, baby?